Aguardarnos un poco y ahí iniciamos. Ok. Hello, guys. Good evening. People who follow us as well on YouTube. We are here with my colleagues, with Ebenezer, Fernando, and Sarah, and we will be spending 1 hour talking 100% in English. And today's topic is pets and animal rights. So just to let you know a little bit about these sessions. This is not an English class. We are just gonna talk about one topic that I already mentioned. We are gonna just try to use the English knowledge that we already have. So we are gonna put it in use. So that's basically how it works. I believe it's okay to do our self-presentation since here we have new members on our English session. So I believe it's okay to start with that part. Okay. So let's start with our self-presentation. So Ebenezer, go ahead. Could you please introduce yourself to us?
Okay, good evening for everyone. My name is Ebenezer Castro. I'm Bolivian. I'm living in Sao Paulo, Brazil, for 2 years and a couple of months. I'm performing as a software developer. I work at the same company that the and Chris. So, what else? I love sports. I love cooking, and I'm married. I have 2 children. That's it.
Thank you so much, Ebenezer, for being here again. As he said, we are both Bolivians and we work for the same institution here in Brazil, in the same field as well. Sarah, please go ahead and introduce yourself to us.
I'm Sarah. I'm from Brazil. I live in Manaus, which is a city in the state of Bahia. I work as an English teacher. I live with my family. What about hobbies? Oh, I like to go to the beach, reading as well, and try to learn new languages. I like to. That's how we met, right, Christian? Practicing languages. So that's why I'm here. Thank you so much for the invitation, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you for being here, Sarah, and welcome to our Monday's night English session. So I hope to see you every single Monday here. And now, Fernanda, please go ahead.
Hello guys, I'm Fernanda. I live in Brazil, in São Paulo. I work as a Spanish teacher. My free time I like to practice different languages, and that's why I'm here. And I hope we have a great conversation. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Fer. To finish this part, last but not least, my name is Christian Jimenez. I am from Bolivia. I work in IT area. I've been living here in Brazil for almost 3 years, and I started this community in order to practice new languages, specifically English now. So I am planning to open Spanish sessions more ahead, but I'm not sure when. But let's see if we are going to start with a Spanish session. So that's it about me, guys. So let's dive right in the today's topic. As I mentioned, we are going to talk about pets and animal rights. Since we had like a sad, I'm not sure how to say it, story, perhaps a story here in Brazil about the Orelhinha some weeks ago. So it's been like a controversial topic that happened. So I believe it's good to know to talk about this topic and know more about your opinions and as well your insights. So let's move on to the question number one. Let me see here. Sarah, could you please read the question number one and answer it?
Let me just open the right tab. I have a couple open.
Okay,
But
no problem.
I found it. Do you have any pets? If yes, what kind and why did you choose them? Yeah, I actually have three. I chose the dog, the cat chose me. I have one dog and two cats, so the dog was adopted. We saw him online and we ended up adopting him. The cat, we had a basement, so she appeared here one day with three kittens. So we couldn't resist, and say no. Some of them were adopted, and one of the cats we kept with her, so that's why we have the cats. And yeah, that's the story behind it. I always loved animals and especially dogs. I've never had cats before, and this one chose us, and now she's part of the family as well.
That's pretty true what you said that normally cats choose us. It's not the opposite when we choose a dog, for example. Thank you so much for sharing. You have so many pets over there. It's good to know that you love them as well. Thank you, Sarah. Now, Fernanda, what about you?
Yeah, okay. I have one dog. His name is Scooby, and this dog was rescued from the street by my sister. He spent some time with my mom, and after I got married, he came to live here with us, with me and my husband. But but my mom have other dogs, so I always leave it with dogs. I never had a cat, but I think it's a good pet too. That's it.
Thank you so much, and as well, it's good to know that you rescued, or at least you have a pet, a dog who, or that was rescued. I believe it's a good action that we can do for them, for animals that are over there in the street or on the street. So thank you so much for sharing, Fernanda. Benicio, what about you? Do you currently have any pets?
Actually, I don't. I don't have pets, but when I was single, I used to have dogs. I really like dogs, so I wish I could have one, but I have limitation about the place. I'm living in an apartment, so now it's difficult for me. Uh, have a dog, but I love them.
Thank you so much. I didn't know you had a dog when you were single. Was it when you were living in Uruguay?
No, in Uruguay, I had a rabbit. Yeah, I don't know why, but my wife I wanted a rabbit, so we bought a rabbit. And when we took the rabbit to my father's-in-law place, the rabbit escaped.
Mhm.
It was like he lives like um, not so far from the city, but like 20 kilometers far
Mhm.
away from the city.
Mhm.
So it was like how can I say? Um, I don't know. He had a big yard, so he was outside
Mhm.
free, and he just escaped.
Okay, got it. Thank
But
you so much.
that's the only pet that I had in Uruguay.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, in my case, nowadays I don't have pets. We would like to. I love dogs, even though I used to love cats before when I was younger, because we had a cat who lived with us several years. But nowadays, I believe I prefer dogs. From my view, they are more loyal than than cats. But we were thinking about having a dog here, but I believe it's the same case as Ebenezer. The apartment where we are living, it's kind of small. We are living in a building, so it's kind of difficult to have a pet here. Even though some neighbors they have pets here or dogs, but we decided to wait a little bit more. I have a question that is not here on the list, but I would like to ask to you guys. Which animal or pet was the more unusual one, or the most exotic one that you have had so far in your life? For example, for me, I had a rabbit, or several rabbits, and as well turtles. When I was living in Bolivia, when I was like 13 years old, because we have like a big yard at that time. So, Fernanda, do you remember the most exotic pet that you had?
Maybe a rabbit
Mm-hmm.
also. And I had a fish too when I was younger. Um, yeah, I think it is true.
Okay, thank you. What about you, Sarah?
We don't have any exotic pets, just cats and dogs.
Okay, cats and dogs. And Ebenezer, besides your rabbit, do you remember any exotic pet?
I remember, well, I cannot consider a pet because it didn't stay up for a long time. It was an owl.
Owl. Mm.
Yeah, I remember that we caught this owl. I took it to my home. I remember that I put in a box. And well, I had that owl like 2 days until my mom discovered it.
Mm-hmm.
So well, she told me to let the owl go
Go.
away. So I couldn't keep it. But I think that was the most exotic animal that I had for a
For
short
sure.
time. Yeah.
For sure. The most exotic one. Thank you so much, guys. Let's move on to the question number two. Uh, Fer, could you please the second one and answer it, please?
Yes. How do you decide which pet is suitable for your lifestyle? Um, as I mentioned, when I was a child, I used to have dogs at home, and some dogs were rescued. So it was like some kind of, I don't know, uh, oh, we like the dog, we have the dog at home. So, um, but I think it's more related to uh, hun- understand of what the pet needs and see if it fits in your routine. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, that's I completely agree with you. It's important to know if the pet that you are like about to choose fits in your schedule, if you are able to take care of him. So yeah, it's important. Thanks so much, Fer. What about you, Ebenezer? What do you think about the question number two?
In my case, I have really decided dogs are the animal that I could choose. I do really get along with them. I don't know why. It's just I see a dog and it's like very natural for me. Go and interact with the dog. I if I don't know the dogs, and so for me, dogs it's a pet that I consider to care. I have a lot of dogs when I was younger, so I think if it's more, it's like I'm used to it. So dogs.
Got it. Thank you so much, Ebenezer. And Sarah, what do you think about it?
I was thinking about besides routine, also for example, the size of the dog depends on where you live. In my house, we always thought about not getting, even though it was a stray, it wasn't a dog with a breed. I forgot how to call it, like whatever. But it was like always about, okay, can we have this dog inside of the house without causing much trouble in terms of like the space it would take, and also for example, we don't have time to walk the dog, I don't know, 5 times a day. We can do like 1 or 2, so that's also important. And also, I'm a little bit afraid of pit bulls or some dog breeds. So I think that is a part of also that I should consider, because you should be comfortable with the dog, and the dog should fit in the family as well. So yeah, based on size, how you can keep that dog, also because it's bigger, you could end up spending more with the feeding the dog and all the care, and also I think about price and size mostly.
Yeah, sure. Size is important because imagine that you are living in a small apartment. I believe it's impossible to have a big one. So yeah, you have to consider that. And as well, if you have to walk the dog, if it is bigger, it needs more time because the dog needs to spend more energy. I believe it's easier to raise little pets from my view. But obviously that depends on your lifestyle. Perhaps you live in a big house in the countryside. Obviously, you will like prefer to have bigger dogs because they will have all of that space for them. Thank you so much, Sarah. From my view, it's the same. It depends as well how many time do you have to spend with a dog, because a dog is like a being, a living being. So you don't like have to consider it like a toy. So if you decide to have one, you have to take care of it like seriously. I know that there are so many people who give pets like Christmas gift for the kids, but they don't know how to take care about them. So I believe it's something wrong. So I believe that we have to consider like it's like to having a kid in your house. You have to really take care of it. So yeah, and you need to think about the time that you're going to spend, how many, about your budget, because you are going to spend more money because the special food and the perhaps the medicines. So I believe you have to consider all of those points if you are deciding to have a pet. And that's my point of view. So let's move on to the question number three. Ebenezer, could you please read the third one and answer it?
Yeah, okay. It says, what are the most important qualities you look for in a pet? In my case, that I have dogs, what for me was really important is the trainability. And one of the things that I really like about dogs is the emotional connection that can you make with the owner. I do really like when you just interact with the dog, and the dog, like it's like you can go with the dog everywhere, and the dog will be next to you wherever you go. So in my case, that emotional connection maybe you cannot have with a, I don't know if like an exotic animal. Well, actually, I see the interest behaviors in exotic animals about with owners, but it's important for me. It's like that I can train my pet, and we can have an emotional connection. For me, it's one of the most important qualities in a pet.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I believe that, or from my view, it's easier to get that emotional like connection as you mentioned with dogs, from my view, because they are more emotional than cats, in my opinion. I'm not sure. Perhaps you had a cat who was like a lovely one, who had like was more feelings about you. But from my view, just dogs had that quality. But let's see what Sarah thinks about it. Sarah, what do you think?
Not really a list of calories, but I agree with Sabrina. There's some things we should consider. But for example, it can be really difficult if you have a dog who keeps destroying things, or it's really hard to get used to the rhythm of the family, or who cries a lot if it stays alone or something, some behavior like that. So I like dogs who are like not don't need to be needy. I don't want a dog to be by my side all the time. I have a life, you know, but it's important that they can, yeah, I think the connection is a good word, and also they can respect you also, because it's important to have some limits, I think, in any kind of relationship, and with the pet is no different, right? So about the cats, I didn't really get to pick, right? But I think they have a good personality. I see many cats destroying things and causing trouble and disappearing and getting stuck in, I don't know, unimaginable places, but my cats are okay. So I think I got lucky with this one. And yeah, I don't have a list, but it's important to have connection, so that they have like a acceptable behavior. That's enough for me.
Yeah, there are some pets or dogs as well that they want to be in your side, like always, like asking for you to. I'm not sure how to say it, but to touch them or playing with them, and it's kind of annoying at some point. So yeah, I believe it has they have to have like a balance. So yeah, but there are some people who spoil them, and yeah, and that at some point it's kind of difficult to change that behavior. Yeah, and it's great to know that. Thank you so much, Sarah and Fernanda. What do you think about it? The most important qualities you look for in a pet?
Mm, I think the connection, as you guys mentioned, also um, the loyalty too. Like, oh, I really feel that the pets really feel happy when I'm uh, when we are together, and also enjoy spending time with the family. So for me, it's this. I think with the when we spend time together, normally we have a better connection too.
Yeah, loyalty is a good point. It's an important quality that I try to find in pets as well. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that I prefer to have a small pet, um, either a cat or a dog. I believe it's for me it's better to get them when they are puppies or kitties. So in that way, I can raise them and I can perhaps restrict some behaviors of them, or at least try to teach them. Yeah, essentially that. And as you said, emotional connection is important. That's why I prefer dogs at this point of my life. Let's move on to the question number 4. I had another question. We were talking about like emotional connection and all of those things, and it's kind of easy to think just about cats and dogs. Do you think that that it's possible to create that connection with fish? What do you think about it, Sarah, for example?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea. What perhaps I don't know how they think and what could be passing through their minds, but I think animals have feelings, so it could be possible, but I think they have a short lifespan, so I don't
Hmm.
know how that would work. You got me
Yeah,
thinking something the very first time in my life
it's
about
kind of it's kind of difficult to think about it because we have the barrier of the jar. I'm not sure how to say that in English, but we have like a barrier with fish or fishes. What do you think about it, Fernanda?
Mm, I think it's difficult. Like, maybe we can talk with the fish, but it's not the same as with a dog or a cat. So maybe, but I'm not so sure.
Yeah, because they are just there like swimming. You cannot play with them. You feed them, but and that's it. That's why you perhaps you don't create that connection. And Ebenezer, what do you think about it?
Well, I have a small aquarium for,
Aquarium.
I don't know, 1 month, I think. 1 month and a couple of days. My wife bought both an aquarium. She thought that it was a good idea. We didn't know anything about the careness of fishes. I didn't know that they demand a lot of time, a lot of careness. You have to care about the water. The water should be balanced, and the temperature, and a lot of things. It's
Mhm.
like it's very demanding.
Mhm.
So we decide to give the I don't know, it's the aquarium or the thing with the 15 fishes to a to a guy that was used to care fishes. But in talking about connection, emotional connection, I remember that when I have food in my hand and I just like put my hand a little inside the water. Sometimes the fish comes to the hand and start like swimming in there, and that's it. That's like there is no emotional connection at all. But it's really it feels yeah, I think it feels good. I don't know, but emotional connection, I don't think so.
Yeah, I believe that people, from my view, perhaps there are some people who have like special emotion connection with fish or fishes, but from my view, people just buy an aquarium for decoration. S- That's my opinion. But that's it about the question number three. No, that random question. So let's move on to question number four. I'm gonna read this one. Do you prefer adopting from a shelter or buying from a breeder? Why? Well, I want to start with that one. I never had like a breed dog or a dog of a breed. I'm not sure how to say it. If I had some, it was because perhaps some friends or my father's friends gave them like as a gift, but we never bought one pet, like a breed pet. The other ones were like I don't know how to say viralat in English. Perhaps somebody can help me here. In Spanish in Bolivia we say like caniches or chapis. So how do you say like viralatas in English? Do you know, Sarah or Fernanda? Let me see here. I don't know. Well, that's the idea. But we just had all of them. We have as a salchicha. I don't I don't know that breed in English, but we have one. His name was Pipo. I believe that Ebenezer knew him. It was a small one. It was really cute, and it was the last breed dog that we had. But the others were like adopted, or we received them as a gift. But if I would decide to have a new pet, either a cat or a dog, I believe that we would adopt them as well. Don't buy a breed one. Ebenezer, what do you think about it?
Well, nowadays I think I don't have any problems with adopting a dog. It's like give a second chance for a for a dog or for well, actually I don't know. Yeah, maybe I don't know, a cat or another kind of pet. It depends on my sons too. So I think adopting for me gonna could fit more.
That's great to know. Thank you so much, Ebenezer. So adopting a new pet. Sarah, what about you?
Yeah, that's an easy one because I'm totally against buying animals. Any kind of animals, because I think that reinforces the behavior, and sometimes there's exploration, especially of the mother, and sometimes they're not really taken care of, in my opinion. And then based on some page I follow that they support the animal cause, and also I always adopted all my pets and never had I searched. I never had a fur breed dog. so it's always mixed breed. And I think they're very smart, and I don't see a reason why if you want to have a dog or a cat, it's a dog or a cat. If you're looking for something in particular, like I want this specific breed, it kind of sounds like you're looking for status, or some way to show off your dog or your cat. For me, it's not that way, not how it works. Yeah.
That's a good point. So many people buy them just for the status, for showing that they have like a breed pet, and perhaps because they cost them or they paid so much for them. And yeah, and that's sad. And as you said, when we think about breed pets, we just perhaps we just see them, but we don't know how they were raised, or in which condition were they raised. So I believe that it's normal to discover that they were raised in precarious ways. So it's something sad. Thank you so much, Sarah. And Fernanda, what about you? What do you think about it? Do you prefer adopting or buying them?
I prefer adopting because I understand there are a lot of shelters that have a lot of dogs, and these dogs need love and com companionship. So I think it's not the solution like buying dogs because we have a lot of dogs that really need a company, a family, and you can uh, bring love for them when not it's not necessary buying dogs, in my opinion. That's it.
Thank you so much, Fer. And I have a question as well that is not here on our list, but it's about how government or yeah, governments handle this situation about street animals in the streets. Most of the time, dogs, because in Bolivia it's like it's kind of sad because you can see so many dogs like on the streets and nobody cares about them, neither the government. But here in Curitiba, I can see the opposite. It's kind of difficult to see dogs in the street, like dog streets, like just being over there or trying to find some food. So I would like to know how is this situation in your states or perhaps in the cities that you are living now. Wait, as I said, in Curitiba, at least here it's kind of weird, or it's not that usual to see street dogs. And if they appear, people call to the. I'm not sure it's the police. That's not the police, but they disappear after that. I believe that they send them to the shelter. Sarah, how is this in your city or in the place that you live?
We have a service like that. It wasn't like a rescue, but was a kind of control of the dogs, the stray dogs, right? The population we had, mostly dogs. Cats are more, I think, less frequent, but nowadays I don't see it happening so frequently. So perhaps they changed something, or it's just out of control. Because I've been seeing more. Sadly, I've been seeing more stray dogs and cats. But I remember that I went to Morro de São Paulo, and there's a type of control. They kind of put microchips in the dogs, and they are neutered, so they can be taken care of. And some stores they kind of adopt, that kind of dog with a lot of people take care of them, and they have that feed and space. Is not ideal, but it's better than just being there on the street. Ideally, they would have each one would have a home, but if you have something like midterm, it's better than nothing, right? So I thought it was a good example, a good initiative, but here in my city, I don't see something that effective, unfortunately.
Thanks so much, Sarah. What about in your city, Ebenezer, there in Ortolandia? How is it?
Well, in my case, it's the same as there. Actually, for the places that I go around, it's difficult to see homeless dog. Um, uh, it's like Mm, I can see that that people cares about pets or dogs, or they avoid to do to leave the dog in the street. So, or maybe there is I don't know, that maybe the government may make something with those dogs or animals that could be walking around. I I do really don't about that, but one thing that I can mention is that it's difficult to get a dog like just walking around here.
Thank you so much, Ebenezer. Fernanda, how is it in the city that you are living now there in Sao Paulo?
Mm, I I think I see more dogs nowadays at on the streets. And some people like feed them and keep them around. But also we can like call when we see some dogs that are not being having good treatment. But I think nowadays I don't see so much people calling like, oh, this dog is at is like in the street. The dog needs to be cared better. I don't see that so much here. My opinion. And that's it.
Thank you, Fer, and everybody for have answered that like random question. Let's move on to the next one. I'm gonna skip the fifth one and let's read the sixth one, okay? Sarah, could you continue with the sixth one and answer it?
Yeah. What responsibilities do pet owners have toward their animals? First of all, taking care of their house, because sometimes it's just not about just waiting until they have the vaccines and they just go to the vet next year on that same date, and sometimes you can also prevent uh, health problems. So it's it's not the same thing as a person. I'm not defending that. I don't think that is not at all. But also it requires some care. It's a big responsibility you have. So I would say taking care of their house, also making sure they're safe. So I don't like when someone has a dog who's always outside, even if it's a big dog, it should be allowed to enter the house and be around, I don't know, the whole family for some time. So I believe also having this type of, we talked about connection, that's how we create it, right? So being around the dog or the cat. Um, what else? Financial, house. Yeah, also making sure they're like comfortable, depending they have some limitation or something, it's important for them to be in the best condition. It's what we should do, especially if we, it's our choice, right? To adopt a dog or a cat, so we should live up to it and assume this responsibility in the right way.
Yeah, that's important to be aware about that if we are gonna choose or we're gonna have a pet, we have to take responsibility of them because everything is happiness when they are like over there, everything is well. But they, for example, when they have an accident or when they get sick, that's the moment that yeah, it's not just about having fun. It's a living being that is over there, and we have to take care of them. All of those points are important. Thanks so much for sharing, Sarah. And Fer, what do you think about this point, about the responsibilities?
Okay. I think the owners are responsible for providing food, also medical care when it's necessary, and also give the animal attention because it's really important, and try to give some education, some limits too. In my opinion, in general, these are the responsibilities. that the owners need to have.
Yeah, thank you so much. Another one that I would like to add is about their actions, because there are some people who have like dangerous breeds, especially with dogs, and sometimes they bite others, or perhaps they bite people, or even they kill other dogs, and it's something really grave sometimes. So, and they need to take responsibility of that as well. And at that moment, is the owner. Obviously, an animal is an animal, but the owner has to take that kind of big responsibilities. And Ebenezer, what do you think about it?
Well, I'm completely agree with you guys. I think that you have to consider as a member of the family. It's like not it's just I'm gonna give food, water, and that's it. You have to give emotional support. You have to you have to companion the pet. Pet has routines, so um, I don't know, like take it to a walk, or like play with the dog, because dogs or pets can stress too as a human being. So it's the same as it's like a member family. You have to have all the care that you have with your maybe your son or a family. It's the same as with a pet.
Interesting what you just said. We have to consider them as part of our family. They are not just something that is over there that's just walking around. It's part of your family. You have to consider them as at that level. Let's move on to the next question. Let's see. I already answered this one. Yeah, I shared my opinion. Let's move to the next one. We have still uh, almost 15 minutes left. I'm gonna, Fer, could you please choose one question from 7 to 15, whichever you want.
Okay, let me see. Mm, I think I will go. I think we'll go with 9. Question number 9. What role? I will read. What role do pets play in mental health and well-being? I think they play important role, an important role. They can reduce our stress and also our loneliness. Like for in my case, for example, I spent a lot of time alone as I work from home. So sometimes I just go and spend some time with my dog Scooby, and he provides me a lot of support, emotional support too. And I think it's this shoe like benefits. I don't know if can say like that. By having a dog, you can feel more happy, happier. You feel happier, and also reduce the stress too. That's it.
Yeah, for
Thank you.
sure. Pets and especially dogs, they can reduce your stress. I believe that they can feel. I'm sure they can feel how you are feeling that in that moment. Perhaps you are stressed, you are sad, you are happy. They can feel it and they try to help you. So that's the more like cute part about having pets. The most special part, I would say. Ebenezer, what do you think about it? Question number 9.
Oh, for me, one thing that comes to my head, it's like the dogs greet you happily when you arrive home. There is no one that can like you're arriving at home, and your dog comes and make you like playing with you. He's really happy, and maybe you could have had a difficult day, or maybe you're stressful, but just for a period, a short period of time, you just forget about that, and maybe you can uh, share with your dog a little, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 minutes, like it's playing with the pet. So it's really benefits for mental health. I think it provides companionship and reduces stress, and force you to make, I don't know, maybe you are at maybe you work like in home office, so all day you were at home, and you're forced to take, like, okay, let's go for a walk and take the dog outside, and everything. I think it's a lot of positive things that can provide have a pet at home.
Yeah, I completely agree that part when you are like getting back home and they are always there waiting for you and they are happier than you that you are getting home. So it's so special. Just like hearing their pounds, I believe this word, like moving, it's really can get really emotional. Thank you so much, Ebenezer. And Sarah, what do you think about uh, the role of pets with mental health and well-being?
I, I read some stories that I read about, for example, kids with special needs when they have the possibility of adopting a pet. I think you mentioned, Christian, it's not like a pet shouldn't be gifts because it's not like a toy, right? You should play whatever you want. It requires responsibility, and that teaches them that they can care for something, and the kids are taught about how to develop themselves in a way that is appropriate to their level and their limitations even, right? So I see that it improves not only kids but also elderly. Sometimes they're facing hardship or grief, and they have a pet, they get a pet as a companionship, and it changed their lives for the best way, very positively. And they can, like, okay, I have something to look forward now. I look forward to be with that pet because it provides me with love and caring. So it's much more than just having an animal to look and sometimes say, hey, how are you? And I don't know, but it's really special what they can do for us.
Yeah, I believe that there are some like I'm not sure institutions or perhaps some services that offers like trained dogs or trained cats that are there for helping people who have like special conditions or kids with special condition. And yeah, they change absolutely their lives. I can say as well that recently or a year ago, my family, my father and my mother, they adopted a dog, and she changed completely the way that they are living now. I can feel that they are happier now than they were before that dog. Even though they already had one, now they have two. It is really special, yeah. But they don't know how to raise them. They are kind of I don't know how to say malcriados in English, but they are like uh, pets mimados. Yeah, that's it about my answer. I believe that everybody answered the question number 9. Yeah, I think so. So let's move on to the next question. We have time for one more question. Sarah, could you please choose one question? Can be from 7 to 15, but not 9.
Because, oh, okay, number 13 is the polemic one. Is it ethical to use animals for entertainment? No circuses, marine parks, why or why not? Nowadays, I think that we have technology, we have other ways to provide entertainment. So perhaps in the past would be like justified, not justified, but more understandable that that would be a practice. But nowadays, for example, we have zoos that I understand some of them, they kind of work in recovering animals. So if they go to nature, they could be like not ready to go to nature, so they stay in the zoo for a while. That's a different situation. But talking about entertainment only, like would be the case of circuses, I don't support it. So in my perspective, it's not something that should be a practice nowadays. We need to evolve in this manner.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, circuses were still using animals until some years ago. I believe that it became like illegal. I'm not sure when, but I believe when I was like 15, 17, it was circuses were still using animals in their shows. I don't know when it changed. At least in Bolivia, yeah, it changed, and I'm not sure when here in Brazil. But yeah, nowadays it's illegal. And I totally agree with you, Sarah, about that. Ebenezer, what do you think about it? Question number 13.
Yeah, I'm completely disagree with this practice about having an animal making entertainment for people. I went to Mundo Marino in Argentina. It's like a animal park, and I don't know how to say, but it's like a zoo of, of yeah, it's like a zoo for uh it's penguin, I don't know, penguin and all those kind of animals that lives on sea, you know? And they had a killer whale. So I don't know if it was like the last year that this killer whale died, and I was reading about this killer whale that he was in Mundo Marino just like 30 years. It was a lot of time. It was the main attraction of the park. So I was thinking about like this big animal, very big animal that lives in like a pool, and it's not a big pool, and this animal needs a lot of space, and it was an obligation to make this kind of entertainment. I think it wasn't a good place for an exotic animal like this. So for me now thinking about this, I think it's like people uh, think more about own how can I say, like that people in recently it's like people, we are very selfish with animals and this kind of entertainment.
Not that you mentioned about the Mundo Marino. That time that I went to the SeaWorld as well, it's like weird because circus like they cannot use them because it's illegal. But those kind of places like SeaWorld, they still use it. They are still using like orcas, dolphins, and penguins. So what is the difference between them and lions or tigers, for example, that were used in on circus? So yeah, I was thinking about that part. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Ebenezer and Fernando. What do you think about it?
I don't think it's ethical, because these animals are like not so comfortable with these situations. Normally they are kept in small spaces, or and these like dynamics are more for uh, amusement for people, not something that the animals like. So I don't think it's so much ethical.
Thank you so much, Fer. And yeah, animals didn't weren't created for those kind of places. That is not their natural environment. They need more space. They need something that is adapted to them. And I believe that humans are not capable to create that specific environment for them nowadays. And that's it about our today's topics. Unfortunately, we ran out of time and we have to finish now. But before that, I would like to know from you. This is the feedback moment. If you learned something new now, or how was the most interesting thing about this conversation that we just had? Uh, Sarah, how was it for you, or if you learned something new in this session?
Really different. It's a difficult topic because it's even in Portuguese could be challenging, but I really
Mhm.
enjoyed it. Yeah, I think I learned how to say vira-lata. Mixed breed dog. I saw that at some point, but I always forget it because I don't talk about that a lot. But it's really nice to know.
This mixed breed dog,
Yeah. Hmm.
vira-lata. Thank you so
That's it.
much. Okay, got it. Thank you so much, Sarah. Yeah, we learned that word here. I believe that everybody learned that word now. Fer, how was it for you? And if you learned something new in this session?
Mm. I enjoyed the conversation. The topic is different, but it was good talking about it in English. And I learned the term breeder. I didn't saw it before. So this is before. So yeah, it was great. Thank you, Christian.
Thank you for have participated as well. And Ebenezer, briefly, how was it for
Yeah,
you? And you learned something new?
yeah. The words that the girls mentioned, I didn't know, and the other word was is pay or stay, and that you send in the vocabulary, and I think was I didn't know about that, and it was a good conversation, and to make me think about how important are pets in human life.
Thank you so much, Ebenezer, for have shared. And in my case, one word is those who have mentioned, and another one is spoiled, like it's mimado. I'm not sure if it's the same word in Portuguese, but in Spanish, mimado is somebody who is like that's whatever he or she wants. So that's spoil it. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this topic. It was like an unusual one. Even though we can share about our pets, it's kind of difficult to talk about it as a whole. And that's it. I hope to see you the next Monday in our next session. And have a great night. So see you later. Ciao, ciao.